All right. So basically, what we've done up to this point is search the tax record. This is the tax record. This is the subject property. All right. We've seen that it is 1,100 square feet. All right, but there's no basement. So, yeah, it's just above ground. It looks like there is 2 floors, but yeah, you can see that there's no basement, no windows or anything there. Now, this is the area. This is the property that you just pulled up, the one with the 2 right here. Okay. Now this one, like you said, I mean, it's definitely an as-is property. And if you scroll to the bottom, you can see that it was purchased with cash. And now so it is a comparable property, and the outside looks similar. It's a row home, right? Pretty close. Now there is it's 800 tax, so it's the above living, like the tax living area is less,
Right.
but it has a basement, which is 400 square feet, which equates to a total of 1,200. And ours is like 1,152, so it's pretty much like the same thing. So given that, it's not always like you can't compare a property with a basement and not a basement. For example, like this one, if it's small but with the basement and it adds up to kind of like the same square footage, you can compare that.
Okay.
So the next thing that we're going to check is
The tax record.
yeah, but we don't really need to see the tax record for this one because this is an as-is comp. If you were looking at a renovated comp, you would go to the tax record to see how much they bought it for. But they pretty much it tells you. They told you how much they bought it for right here. So 269.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you offer in this scenario?
I would offer 220 to 245.
Okay. Definitely the right idea. Just give a little bit bigger of a range. So like just give like a 40 grand range. We typically give like a 40 grand range. Like if it's like a smaller property, like under 300,000 purchase price. So this is like an under 300,000 purchase price. So like a 40,000 range. So I think you're right with a 220. Start at 220 to 260 even. You want to give them a broader range and just be like, and that gives us more incentive to say, hey, I would love to see where we are within this range. I would have to schedule an evaluation so that we can see where we are within this range. Let me get my licensed professional out there, give you your options, yada, yada, yada. And, just continue it from there. So, yeah, I think 220 to 260 is a good range. 220 to 245, that's also a good range. I mean, it depends. You can also play it upon the scenario. Obviously, the lower that we get it, the better. But yeah. Now,
yes,
remember, we want to see, we do want to see at least 2 comps. So let's go and let's look at one more comp.
Yes, hello, this is Mr. Colbert.
Yes, yeah, that might work better for you. Yep. Yeah, perfect. Good stuff. Oh, hit cancel. Yeah, I always do that. That was something. Yeah, click it twice. Click the list price twice. Just click it again. So everything's at the top. Yeah, then you get the most expensive at the top. Yep. Alright. So what do we got?
So I would go to this one here.
Okay. Hold on, go back real quick. Is that a system summary? Okay. So, remember, ours does not have a basement. So if theirs is this big and it has a basement, it's probably going to be like a decent sized basement. So that's probably not going to be comparable. So you're either going to want to see properties around our size with no basement, or properties smaller with a basement, like this 800 one right here. But we've already seen that one. So, look at this. Let's see what this one. 1152. Okay, that's pretty much an exact comparable in terms of the property and the size, because it's 1152 with no basement, which is exactly what ours is. But if you see here, scroll down, it says excellent opportunity. 2 units self-contained. Yep. Looking for cash. So scroll down. Okay, yeah, I thought so. So this seems really a really high of a price. So it was an FHA loan, so it wasn't an investor. So scroll all the way up and let's try to look at another one. What about this one right here? 840. Looks like it has a basement. Yeah. No, I don't think that was it. Go back. 840. Was that the same one? No, yeah, hit that one. Oh, that's actually right next door to our other comp. Let's see it. Let's go through. Yeah. So this is it could be an investment property, but it could have also been a listing, like a retail value property. So if you scroll down, let's see if it's for cash. Oh, doesn't tell us yet because I didn't close. Okay. And you can keep it. Alright. Yeah, so I'll go back. So one thing I will tell you. Oh, right there. We missed that one. 1152 with no basement, right there. Alright, so click that one. And then scroll down.
But this is the address, isn't it?
Okay, right. right, okay. So go back to system summary. Okay. So scroll down. Let's see, maybe we can find some as is comes. Then another as is comes. So scroll down. Alright. See that? Well, it looks like that's the only good comp, but that is a good comp. Yeah, that 800, right?
Yes.
No, the one above it. That's okay. That's the same one, 1838 Street. Yeah, that was the buy. Yep, that was the same one. The buy and the sell. Okay. So given that, it gives us a good gauge, though. This is a pretty good comp. So it gives us a good gauge. Now, typically, this is just something to know. People that buy properties on the market, it will typically be a little bit higher than what we can sell it for. So 269 might be a little high, a little optimistic. So all in all, I'll tell you, we actually bought this property for $80,000.
Wow.
And we resold it for $215,000.
Where was that?
This was Reggie's first property. This is the 6-figure dealer.
This is our first 6-figure deal.
Yeah.
We were feeling ourselves. You guys are feeling yourselves.
What are you talking about? You were too. We were all feeling ourselves. We met him at Safeway. Yeah, that was awesome.
He was such an Eeyore at the time. Like, hey, it's okay.
An Eeyore. That's like the perfect way. That was like the perfect description.
No big deal.
I was still trying to find the description for him, but that's a good description.
Joe killed this. He killed it.
Yeah, and he had another property, and like, yeah, we did some crazy creative stuff. We had to like sue a bank because the bank illegally foreclosed on his home.
Joe killed
That
that.
happens.
Yeah, but that was also a 6-figure deal. So we made like a $250,000 off of this, off of Reggie.
Is
Yeah,
he still?
Joe took
Is he still
companies to the next level.
What's that?
Is he still with you all? Reggie?
No. Reggie was the homeowner.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. He was the homeowner. We helped him out.
So Daryl, you did the deal.
What's that?
You did this.
No, Joe did
Oh,
this.
you did the one.
Yeah, I did the
Joe
deal. Yeah,
did.
it was
Like
like
last year, all of us
Yeah.
were doing acquisitions. Joe killed it. He took us to the next level, and now that's kind of the standard almost. It's becoming the standard.
So you're moving away from acquisitions.
Yeah, I haven't
Well,
done
this is
acquisitions
recorded,
in
so
a
I don't
while.
know how much you want all this to be recorded, but
Oh yeah, true. It's been recorded. No. I'm saying like on the. Oh, we're recording it.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. It's all good. I mean, it's gonna stay in the house.
What is the dripping back there?
Okay, so, okay, let's do another one. See this for a few seconds. Okay, so good. That was great. Alright. Okay, 418. Alright, let's do 418 North Henry. 418 North Henry. Oh, did we already do this one?
Um,
It's in Alexandria.
I don't think
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
don't
done
think so.
a
Yep.
property
Okay.
before. I've only done DC.
Alrighty. The other one. It's actually isn't it? You can just go back. System summary. Okay, yeah, that's it. Woodstock. The other one said Woodstock.
Why aren't these two consistently highlighted?
No idea. Oh. Yeah, no, that's just an MRS thing. So one thing that's going to help you on this is using hotkeys. So controls, like while you use both hands, like Control C copy, Control V paste. I found that helps a lot. Damn, there's a lot of properties being sold in Alexandria. That's crazy. Yeah, so you
There's
probably want to
no,
zoom in a little bit more.
I don't know what it looks like. Just don't photo. So
Okay.
I guess I'll just
So look-
scroll over.
No. Well, if you if you go back over here to the Google, just go click the map, and then place your little guy there. You gonna do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So see that little guy? Hold on. Place him right there. Boom. Yeah, so see 412. 14, 16, 418. Yep. That was the worst property I've ever been in. Yeah, it was vacant for 12 years. It was literally not safe to be in there. Yeah. Yeah, so so typically, I'm sorry to cut you off. Typically, if it's in the same row, this is not always, but like 98% of the time, if it's on the same row and it's a row home, it's going to be an identical comp. So you always want to look for if there's a one on the same block, beautiful. It'll be an easy comp for you. Well, that one's If you're looking at a renovated comp, you don't need to go down there because it was never bought for cash. It's never going to be bought for cash if it's a renovated comp. If you look at the as-is comp, it's going to be bought for cash.
Okay.
So 475. So what do we do next?
So we got it for 425.
Okay.
So our price needs to be under the 425.
Well, this one's kind of a funky one, but just see if the properties are identical though.
Hello, Mr. Webb.
I guess I have to get used to looking at, like I said, looking at this information on computer. I'm used to looking at them on paper.
It's fine. I mean, yeah, this is
Okay.
you have to get used to it. Okay, so first things first. Are they compared? Is this a
Yes.
comparable property?
Mhm.
Okay. Why?
Well, one, it's on the same row, and then two, the living area is both 884.
Okay, those identical. Great. So we can at least get the ARV. So the ARV is
475.
okay. Great. ARV is 475. Now the reason I say this one's kind of a funky one is because it was switched in two. How do I say this? There's two different companies that bought this.
Right.
So can you see that?
Yeah, in 14, they got it for 295, and then a year later, another LLC picked it up, and then that LLC transferred it to the homeowner.
Right. So this one's kind of a funky one, but it looks like what happened.
And I don't know if you told me or if Raphael told me that sometimes a company may have two different names, or maybe it was Daryl. I don't know. One of you all said that sometimes a company can transfer to their other company just for, IRS tax purposes.
Yeah, sure.
So,
But typically that's not going to show up on the deed. At least I don't think so. But it looks like, and this is just for you to know. We're going to move past this because this is kind of confusing for the purposes of this comp.
okay.
But okay, so it was sold. Grantor is the seller. Grantor is the buyer. So it was sold by Carolyn to RBA Holdings in 14 for $295. Right.
Hello, Mr.
It looks like
Wilson, how are you?
because of the huge jump in the price.
I'm good.
Well, they did sell it for a year later. So it looks like these guys went.
I heard
Yeah.
back from you.
Carolyn.
No, not Carolyn.
Oh, RBA.
It looks like RBA renovated it. All right, and they sold it to DP for $425, which is kind of weird. Which is like I said, that's why I want to move past this comp. But this is just for you to know. It looks like if you just ever see a big jump in price like that,
Okay.
typically means that they renovated it.
The grantee renovated it.
Yeah,
And flipped it
exactly.
to the other grantee.
Right.
No problem at all.
And so this could be.
Just real quick.
This actually could be them selling it to their own LLC. It could be that. So anytime. Now this is not always. Like I said, this is a funky case. But anytime that there is how do I put this? Okay, for the purposes of this case, right? Because I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Because otherwise, there's not really a scenario. Otherwise, that makes sense. We can just make it like draw an imaginary line through the middle one. So it'll be like 295, 475. Because I'm pretty sure this is the same company.
Okay.
So let's draw an imaginary line through this. So we have only the 295 and the 475. Okay. Now that being said, what do we do now?
Well, we want. So this is the ARV. So
What? Which one is?
The 475.
Great.
And so we would want to make an offer under the 295.
Beautiful.
And our offer would come in at 260 to 250 to 280.
Okay. It definitely seems acceptable. Again, like I said, though, just do a range of 40,000. So I think you were right on the money. 250 to 290 is good. Remember, we're giving them a range, so like usually when we give them a range and they accept it, we're able to get within that range. We're usually not at the top of our range. So is that the final offer?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Good. 2 in a row. Good. You got that one right. So again, we would want to look at another comp, just to make sure. But yeah, so for this one, we got this under contract for 250. And then we sold it for, we got it for yeah, we did get it for 250. And we sold it for 310. So 60 grand deal.
And another comp.
Now, if you really look and there's no identical other comps, you can use that one, especially since it's on the same block. Typically, a same block comp is pretty good to go. But let's keep searching anyways. There you go. Yeah, sometimes.
Most of these streets are okay. It's just the main streets you don't want to cross over.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, that should be fine. Yep. You have to. I just fucked everything up. It's like, nah. It's like, nah. Alright, I don't even know what you did now. Nah, it's all good. Alright, you know what? That was perfect. That was a good comp. So, alright, let's do another one. You know what's crazy? Oh, never mind. Alright, cool. Alright, so let's do this one. 1118 Jensen. Okay. Let's do that one. Go ahead. I'll use the bathroom real quick.
You told me a trick, but
What trick are you looking for?
about the map.
Hmm.
Map.
Trying to get good at this, aren't you?
Trying. He said contract.
Getting good, man.
I'm trying.
Like that.
And I'm missing something.
Yeah, go back to criteria. Yeah, don't do the back button because that'll delete you. Just select. Go ahead and do it.
Oh, and then map. My old stomping ground.
Really?
PG County all day.
Looks like getting better. Sure. Grand Vargas. What up, boy? Me and Kalisa right now. Joe stepped out. I don't know. He wasn't here. But yeah, the three of us are down here. Cool. Clicking around. You spot. Are you good?
Yeah, if I just double did the same thing twice. Okay.
Oh, it's
So,
There goes movie park. It seems like that's the comp, right?
yes, right. I think it's
That one's way bigger though. What is ours? Did you get eyes on ours?
Yeah, 1181 is ours. Living area. No additional.
Did you get eyes on it though? What is ours?
Yeah. Match.
Yep, that's the one. You can find one more possible comp. So that one's much bigger. This one right here. Scroll down. Yeah, that one's a little bit closer.
D?
Nope.
And D.
Perhaps look at
Oh, okay. We're gonna,
I don't know if this is going to be. To me, it doesn't seem like it's going to be comparable because it's only 912 and the other one's 1181.
Big boy Jensen.
Big boy. The D's still in his name.
Is it?
Andre, right?
No.
What was his name?
His name starts with a D, Damon. But it was in his mom's name.
That's right.
Is it 1118 Jansen?
Mm-hmm.
Bastards! It's so bad.
They added it like they added a lot. Looks big. It's way bigger than 1,100 square feet. We both know that. Click on it. On 1118 Jansen.
Oh, they built it up. That's
Yeah. I can't. That's Big Boy Jansen. Is that Big Boy Jansen?
It is.
Dang, they did work. They did work.
Huge difference.
Yeah, that's how it looked before.
Yeah. Huge.
Good job, Joe.
Nah, we did a terrible job on that one.
We profited. I remember this little door. It was like all water. And this door was like filled with water.
Damn. What's going on in the field?
Got another half hour and I'm gonna dip set. I don't know who freaking
Discoveries?
Oh,
Hit him up. Did you hit him today?
no, I didn't hit those. I'll hit those.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go upstairs real quick. Just keep up the properties on, like the comps. What do you think is the best comps? What did you do?
I don't know who would.
You just exit it and just work off the other.
Yeah, basically in that area, your ARV is going to be about 225 to 280, no matter what. It's a good mental note for you.
Okay. Frustrating, but okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in.
You were on track. 225, 280 Capitol Heights all day. Once Cap Heights doesn't really break that 300 mark. Yes, hello, good afternoon. This is Daryl Wilson. I was returning a missed phone call from this number from earlier in the week. It may have been in regards to a property you were looking to sell in DC.
No, that's not me.
I see. Okay, may have the wrong number. Apologize for the inconvenience.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, we're back. Gosh.
In terms of square footage, the
Mhm.
property that I have is 1181, and when I'm doing the comp, if there's taxable living area of 912, how much difference can I play with when doing a comp if they're not side by side or like in a row?
Good question. So, if the let's say you come up with a comp, right, and it's smaller, but it's like a little bit smaller, but it's priced high, then you're good, because we can always sell it saying, hey, ours has more square footage. But you don't want to. Once you start crossing like 250 square feet, you know that's it. Because 250 square feet is like the size of this room, right? So that makes a considerable difference, right? So 25 by 10 foot room. So I wouldn't do any. I would really try to be within 100 square feet. But no more than 250 for sure. Yes, hello. Good afternoon. This is Daryl Wilson. I was looking to speak with Miss Boyd. Hi, Miss Boyd. I was actually returning a missed phone call from you from earlier in the week. It may have been in regards to a property you were looking to sell in DC. Joe? Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, I had received. Okay. Good afternoon. This is Daryl. It's possible. Yeah, we sent out a mailer a little while ago to several homes in DC. We buy and sell property in the area. Will we buy? Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me know. All right. You too. You still tripping on Jensen?
Mm-hmm. I think he told me to wait with my call.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.